Hello, and welcome to Movie Recap. Earth has survived the fall, a conflict that took place in 2563. A city called Zalem is suspended in the air above the planet, and Iron City is located below this. Dr. Dyson Ito finds a female cyborg with a core heart and brain in a junkyard, but it had no body or limbs. He rebuilds the cyborg with a spare robotic body in his cyborg clinic. Having no memory of anything when she awakens, Ito calls her Alita. He discovers that her original brain works well with the new cyborg body and she could manipulate her fingers very well. Alita also liked an orange fruit and produced a tear, demonstrating the perfect working of her sensories. Ito takes Alita out to show her around the city. She is saved by a Hugo who seems to be amazed by Alita's hand. She also likes Hugo and they become friends. In the next scene we are shown a woman alight from a vehicle. A shadow is then shown spearing the woman and killing her in cold blood. Later that night, Alita awakens to see Ito return home with blood dripping from his left arm. Alita is also introduced by Hugo to the local motorball race. When Alita tries to join in, she stumbles and initially receives mockery. After a few attempts, her inherent competitiveness emerges, allowing her to outwit everyone and score a motorball goal. Alita pursues Ito one night and they come across 3 lethal cyborgs, at which point Alita learns that Ito is a hunter-warrior. In trying to shield Ito from harm, Alita discovers that she possesses innate talent for a traditional martial art known as Panzerkunst. Alita experiences memory flashes of her past existence on Mars while in battle. She was a warrior with the code 99 foot in the past. She uses her skill to kill 2 of the robots while seriously wounding the third, known as Grushka, which fled underground. Grushka vows to find Alita when she returns. On their way, Ito tells her how they are paid to do dirty jobs by killing the criminals in Iron City but advises her against becoming a hunter-warrior. Back at home, Ito shows Alita the picture of her daughter. Turns out that Alita was the name of Ito's deceased daughter. She was wheelchair-bound and the robotic body was initially created for her. The real Alita was killed by a cyber thief who broke into Ito's clinic in search of pharmaceuticals. Chiron, who is also the true Alita's mother, was Ito's companion. Ito and Chiron parted ways following the death of the real Alita. Once Vector and Chiron are aware of Alita's potential, Nova gives them the go-ahead to murder Alita. If Chiron completes the task successfully, Nova assures her that she will be able to return to Zalem. Grushka apparently works for Vector and Chiron. He budges in through the window and asks for help from Chiron. Later, Hugo and his companions are instructed by Vector to attack cyborgs and collect their body parts in order to repair and upgrade Grushka. Once he has earned enough credits from carrying out his dirty work, Vector promises to send Hugo to Zalem. The following day, Hugo together with his other friends take Alita to a forest region outside of the city. They discovered an old, deserted spacecraft from war era here. Alita brought back a cyborg body of a berserker fighter after entering the spaceship through an underwater door. Since he wants Alita to have a second chance at life without being a warrior, Ito declines her request to implant her into the body. After being let down, Alita rebels by declaring herself a hunter-warrior. Hugo and Alita visit the Kansas bar where Alita requests assistance from other hunter-warriors to defeat Grushka. Since Grushka is not on the wanted list and there is no reward for his death, they decline to assist. Alita effortlessly defeats Zapan in a fight when Zapan tries to humiliate her. She then challenges every other hunter-warrior, starting a huge brawl within the bar. As an upgraded Grushka storms into the bar and challenges Alita to a rematch, Ito arrives just in time to break up the fight. After a long fight, Alita's body is hacked to pieces by Grushka's bladed fingers despite her bravery and martial arts. She manages to hit him in the eye, damaging his face, and on Ito and another hunter-warrior's arrival, he is forced to flee once more. Ito has no choice but to put Alita in the berserker body, which instantly melds with her. She controls the cyborg so well, Ito is amazed. Vector is aware that he cannot easily overcome Alita. He sets up a motorball competition in which each player must murder Alita in order to receive a sizable amount of credit. He also exhorts Hugo to enter Alita in the motorball contest. Hugo and Alita can both travel to Zalem if Alita prevails. Alita's new body has given her more strength and flexibility. As requested by Hugo, she enters her name in a motorball tryout race. Just before the race, Ito learns that the other competitors are Hunter warriors and other cyborgs Vector recruited to murder her. Zapan is preparing his retaliation against Hugo and Alita in the meantime. Hugo and his pal Tanji were caught stealing cyborg components by Zapan. Zapan accuses Hugo of murdering the cyborg they were using as a source of parts after Zapan murders Tanji. All Hunter warriors are now looking for Hugo because a bounty has been placed on his head. Hugo is attempting to flee from Zapan while Alita is competing in the motorball race. Alita receives a call from Hugo instructing her to meet him at the deserted church. Following the elimination of the other competitors, Alita leaves the game and goes to the church to confront Zapan as the other warriors follow to kill her. She finds out the truth about Hugo's work and Zapan injures him fatally. Chiron, who was at the chapel with the intention of murdering Alita, instead saves Hugo's life by having his head severed and feeding his brain with Alita's blood. Zapan realizes this and becomes enraged by this, but Alita seizes his Damascus blade sword and chops his face off. Ito replaces Hugo's head with a cyborg body. Additionally, he informs Alita that Vector lied to Hugo that Iron City residents could enter Zalem in exchange for 1,000,000 credits. In order to confront Vector, Alita charges through the factory. Chiron has been killed, and Vector announces that Zalem will receive her body and organs, and tells her that only in this manner may residents of Iron City travel to Zalem. In Vector's office, Alita fights Gruishka once more and kills him. She then stabs Vector, who has been under the mental control of Zalem's scientist Nova. Meanwhile, Hugo left the facility in the interim and headed for Zalem. He makes an attempt to ascend a factory tunnel using his new cybernetic form. He hears Alita pleading for him to come back with her as a sizable spiky ring sent by Nova hurtles down the tube. Hugo attempts to miss the ring but to no avail. It tears him apart. Hugo's last remaining arm is successfully grasped by Alita, who then uses her sword to cling onto the tube. Not before he can say goodbye, Hugo's elbow joints give out and snap, leaving Alita on the tube grasping the last of his arm. Although devastated, Alita is adamant that Hugo's memory live on. In the film's concluding scene, Alita is portrayed as the top athlete in the motorball competition. She raises her blade towards Zalem while the audience applauds her and Nova observes her from above. Thanks for watching and make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel to get more content like this.